podcasts on heart attack in the whole unit, that each podcast builds on the last. I will never skip a step. I will never jump ahead. I will never give you anything randomly. I will never just shoot from the hip. That's just not who I am. I am a very organized, anal, neurotic, pedantic, perfectionistic surgeon. And I do everything in my life in keeping with that. Oh, and I have it doubly bad because I'm a military brat too. My father was in the Army. The military is very structured and protocoled. I grew up in a very structured and protocoled childhood environment. Everything was always in place, on time, orderly, neat, and done a particular way and no other way. And guess what? I still do it that same way to this day. And then when you go to medical school and get trained as a surgeon, it's the same kind of thing. Everything has a protocol. Everything has steps. You don't skip steps. You don't change the course of events. You basically do it the protocoled way. So I have this honestly, but you benefit from it. You gain a great benefit from my anal neuroticism and my need to do everything in such an orderly fashion. You get a fantastic education. So take advantage of it. Don't jump around and learn any of this in a random order, because if you do, you will insert what you think you know into what I'm teaching you, and it will be all wrong. People do it all the time. They think they know something, and then they learn something, and they try to make the two work together. But what they thought they knew was all wrong. And then it doesn't make sense. And they wonder why things don't make sense. Well, it doesn't make sense because you didn't learn it in an order where it can make sense. If you try to read before you learn the alphabet, you will not be able to read, and it will not make sense. Please, please, I implore you, I beg you, listen to these podcasts in order. Watch my videos in order. Whatever you do in this education, do it in order. I always say that I'm going to be 100 years old, and I'm going to be standing there saying, "Dearie, this is podcast or video number 3000. Go all the way back to number 1 and start at the very beginning." And you know what? It's true. I will be saying that. I just don't understand. I've never understood how people think they can learn anything without doing it in the right order. I mean, it's just impossible to imagine such a thing in my world. And so people tend to think these days that they can learn things that way, but they don't learn anything. They just have one little nugget and they try to make sense of it, but it doesn't serve them well. And what I have discovered is that instead of knowledge, people have sound bites. I call it sound bites. They have hype, sound bites, fear. And what they do is they react to the sound bites, hype, and fear, but they have no earthly idea how to use information. And I am going to give you an education where you can actually use the information and use it to your advantage to manage your menopause your way. And in this unit, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about a heart attack and how to avoid one. And you're going to be shocked at how much power you have. You have so much control over preventing a heart attack. And yet, most people don't know that they have the control, which kills me. I just can't believe they don't realize they have the control. But it's because they don't have any education. Education is the most powerful thing on earth. You know, the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know. That's one of my favorite things to say. The more you learn, the more you realize how little you know. Because when you learn one thing, it will always bring up a question that induces you to learn the next thing. Well, with my education, you don't have to ask the question. I'm going to make sure I answer it. That's what everyone always tells me. They're like, "You answer my questions before I ever even ask them." I'm like, that's my job. My job is to anticipate what you would want to know and feed you the information in just the right order so that I am addressing and answering all your questions as we go along so that you do not even have to pose the questions. I am going to cover them no matter what. You can count on me to do that. And you can count on me to always tell you the whole story, the whole truth, and make sure that there are no missing pieces. And that way you will know that you have a complete education. Otherwise, you don't have an education at all, and you will make mistakes that could be deadly. I don't like to be morbid, but it's really the truth. So one of the words that I gave you in that list of all the names, all the medical terms that you might use or hear to depict blocked arteries is the word lipid, L-I-P-I-D. Well, lipids are fats, but all lipids are not the same. And when it comes to heart attacks, you need to know how they differ. And so that will be the topic for the next podcast. And I'll talk about all the lipids, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it will be a stepwise education with each podcast building on the next one. And I will do my part by presenting them in order, and you do your part by watching them in order. Is that a deal? In any case, I love, love, love giving you these podcasts. I love making the videos. I hope you can see and hear my passion. This is something that is very, very important to me. I am on a mission to make things better for women everywhere, forever and ever. And you are one of them. So I hope that you continue to tune in and listen. I will always be here for you. And I am able to help you tailor everything to your particular circumstance anytime you want. All you have to do is go to menopausetailor.me. That's my website. And there you will see articles that are fun to read. You will see that you can buy my book. You will see that you can buy webinars for the whole education. Watch them in order, 15 of them. You will see I have a DVD of the whole education. Watch it in order. And you will see that I have a YouTube channel where you can see these videos in order on the same topics that are in the podcast with a lot of props and models that help you visualize these lessons. If you're a visual person, it's phenomenal. Women just love the props because it makes it so easy for them to understand everything. If you want to schedule a consultation, you pick your time. I do them on video conferencing, and I do them with women all over the world. You can do 1, 2, or 3 hours. You indicate the time, you indicate everything. And I invite you, after you've scheduled, to send me all the information you want so that I can include it in your consultation. And I will address everything. And this is tailoring. See, Menopause Tailor, my last name Taylor. Well, it's tailoring, T-A-I-L-O-R-I-N-G. It's tailoring of the information to you. So when you have a consultation, I tailor everything specifically to you so that you can manage your menopause your way and understand how everything pertains to you. So that is what the consultations are all about. I invite you to schedule one at any time. I'm always available for you. I love doing the consultations. And by the way, when you have a consultation, I prepare a very, very complete document for you, usually on the order of about 60 pages, 60 pages. I send it to you 72 hours before the consultation. You get to read the whole thing, and most of the time, it addresses everything you need, and the consultation time that we spend together is spent any way you want. I am at your service. You can ask questions. We can fine-tune your wishes and desires. Whatever you want to do, that's what we do in a consultation. But you have the foundation in the document, and most of what you wanted to know is already there. Women just love this. They go nuts over the document. So I invite you to go to my website, menopausetailor.me. I also invite you to come back for the next podcast on lipids, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I will talk to you again then. See you later. Bye.